Dozens of citizens in the United States erupted into violent protest over the weekend, sparked by the recent death of an African-American man, George Floyd, while in police custody. Police cars and government buildings were set ablaze, while others looted stores. Our Seung-jae with more.
Fires, looting, and chaos broke out in numerous U.S. cities on Saturday night as protesters clashed with police in a wave of protests sparked by the death of George Floyd, an African-American man who died last week while in police custody in Minneapolis. Police cars and government buildings were set ablaze, while others smashed storefronts and looted. The protests have expanded and become increasingly more violent for 5 days in what may be the biggest coast-to-coast demonstrations in the U.S. since the extended anti-Vietnam War protests of the 1960s. In response, Minnesota, along with 14 other state governors, called up National Guard troops. Around 5,000 were activated across the country, with another 2,000 waiting in the wings if needed. In New York City, where nearly 350 people were arrested, with dozens of police officers sustaining injuries, Mayor Bill de Blasio imposed no curfew on the city. California Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency for Los Angeles, where protesters were in the streets well into Saturday night as fires raged. President Trump says his administration will stop what he called mob violence, saying such actions do not serve the interests of justice.
My administration will stop mob violence, and will stop it cold. It does not serve the interest of justice or any citizen of any race, color, or creed for the government to give into anarchy, abandon police precincts, or allow communities to be burned to the ground. Won't happen.
Nearly 1,400 people across the U.S. have been arrested, with the number continuing to grow as protests rumble on. The protests turned deadly in Indianapolis, where multiple shootings led to a death and 2 injuries. Seung-jae, Arirang News.